Sports Timeout Podcast with Jensen Maydew, Tony Caranco, and your host, Wes Underwood.
Welcome into the Sports Timeout Podcast, brought to you by Jeffersons, Free Fry Pickle Fridays, and also, if you're a college student, 50-cent Boneless Thursdays are back. Go check out.
Your mom goes to college.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Well, you know, it's one of the old sayings. I didn't get wings this week. I actually went and got the firecracker shrimp. That stuff's good.
It is good. I had it the last time I went there, actually, as like an appetizer.
Yeah.
It was great.
Very, very delicious. Very delicious. Once you get done picking that out of your teeth, go to Robert's Integrative Dentistry in Joplin. If you're looking for that brighter, straighter smile, be sure to schedule your appointment today at 417-622-0404, Monday through Thursday. And yeah, go check them out. And then once you're done there and you're playing hooky for the day, go check out TeeTime in Web City. And yeah, if golf doesn't intrigue you, at least go get some iced coffee over there like I do, or just go chat it up and play cornhole and dominoes, or go play some pickleball. Pickleball's fun over there. Even in this cold
Or just
weather,
go to the bar.
I'd still be out there playing pickleball.
Yeah, or you can just go to the bar and drink. They have a nice bar.
Yeah, watch some TV, watch some sports while you're there. Hopefully this Friday, last week they had the TYSON Paul fight, and I'm sure they had some fun, but oh man. Yeah. So lots going on. But how's it going? It's been a while.
It has been a while. I've been out in the sports world doing a lot of coaching. So
Yeah.
like
And which one again?
Wrestling.
Yeah.
3 nights a week I'm busy doing that. And tonight was one of those nights. But I made it off early enough and ate early enough that I was able to get on. So
Dude, I mean, just watching how wrestling goes, and then I guess right now, did you know that in the four-state area we have floor hockey? Carthage. Go out to Carthage. Learned that from one of my coworkers. It's where Clint just got out of practice. He was playing on floor hockey over there, but hey.
That's right.
howdy, Clint.
Oh, are we past the introductions?
We're right in it.
Yeah, man.
We're right talking
Floor hockey
about
practice with my bros.
we're going to start a Sports Timeout Podcast floor hockey team.
Yes. It's only 3 people, right? Isn't that how floor hockey works?
And you're coming back just in time, because it's in Carthage, and you're going to be back for Thanksgiving, so we can just go have like a turducken time over there.
Yeah.
I'd be down.
Is there actually a floor hockey thing going on?
Yeah. Yes, there is.
Really?
Found out from one of my coworkers. They've got kids league all the way up to adult.
Adult meaning actually adult, not like 18.
I don't know.
We walk up there with like our gear on, and it's like a bunch of 17-year-olds. Oh, I thought you meant like actual adults.
Who are these guys?
Can we be on your team?
Maybe we can just like scope it out like in a creepy white van before we go in.
Gosh.
Binoculars. All right. Looks like they're older than 20. This makes that better now.
Oh wait, these are drunk goggles. Sorry.
That would help our cause. What's up, everybody? Long time no see.
Yeah, absolutely. Just talking about that. That's where the floor hockey came in. He's been doing wrestling. I've been here, busy, but I've been here. What have you been up to?
Not too much. I'm getting just a bunch of stuff related to my hopeful show.
Okay.
I mean the pitch for the show, I should say. It's not like I'm actually on a show. But come back for Thanksgiving, and I'll be back for a while, so I'm ready for the Missouri living.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's snow. There hasn't been snow yet, has there?
Nah.
All right.
Snowing up north right now, though.
North Missouri?
No, like Indianapolis and all
that.
Oh,
yeah. In fact, I was just watching the Steelers game.
Yeah.
It's a full on, it's a beautiful game right now.
I'm ready for that to shift down. I really am.
Yes, I'm down for it. It's never in Missouri. This is what people come to this podcast for is weather talk. But no, it never happens in Missouri in December anymore.
And now
It's
we
like
bring in Doug Hetty. No.
yeah, let's bring in from KY3 Gary Bundy.
Yeah. Oh
But
man.
no, it would take like now it's all in January, February when you're like I'm kind of done with winter now, but now it's February and we're getting snow days.
Yeah,
Anyways, here's hoping we get a white Christmas.
absolutely. And before you get that white Christmas, make sure to hit that subscribe and follow button on YouTube. And
Very
well,
nice.
are you guys ready to go?
Absolutely.
NCAA college rankings. No surprise. I mean, really nobody shifted. Tennessee moved down 4 spots. They're at 11. Boise State still at that 12 spot. Georgia at the 10. They moved up 2 from the 12 spot. So interesting. Interesting. You got Miami at the 8 seed, Ole Miss at the 9, which that's going to be a fun matchup this weekend. Mizzou's going to be taking on Ole Miss. So Mizzou beats Ole Miss. There's still rumblings of them making it up there, and there's still a good chance that they could get into the SEC championship. A lot will have to happen, but it's still a possibility.
It ain't gonna happen,
So,
though.
huh?
It ain't gonna happen.
Man, I'm really
I
hoping
know,
Alabama loses.
know you're a fan, but it ain't gonna happen.
I
Yeah,
mean,
there's
they've
a
got a really favorable schedule, and if they lose out, then they don't deserve it. But Bama's got OU, and OU's hungry for a win. We know Tristan's out there somewhere going, OU's going to win this game, and then always a fun one between Auburn. So they got Auburn left too. So we'll see.
yeah.
We'll see. I mean, SEC standings as are. I mean,
College football, anything can happen.
yeah, Vanderbilt all the way up in the SEC is still in contention. That's crazy to say. Vanderbilt is 3-3 in the SEC. Mizzou's 3-3. South Carolina's 5-3. Ole Miss is 4-2. Alabama's 4-2. Tennessee's 5-1. The only two teams that really stand a good chance are Texas and Texas A&M. So, what an interesting way to start off the SEC play.
Right.
Texas
Two
comes in and
Texas teams.
dominates. Texas A&M is all of a sudden good. I mean,
Yeah.
hey,
Totally not Southeast. But I guess conferences don't really matter anymore, I guess.
Midwest.
Is it did Stanford move? Or there was some other team that was they're just completely in a different league now.
Well, I mean, a lot of teams moved last year.
Right,
That's why we
yeah.
have the independents where there's only like 3 teams in there now instead of like 5 or 6.
Right. But it's the
So,
funniest when they're by region
yeah.
and then it's a California team. It's in like the Atlantic Coastal Conference.
Well, like
Um
Utah is in the Big 12. I mean, I guess Big 12's the 12, so I guess
and
that
there's a
doesn't make
couple
a difference.
a couple NFL things like that, like the Colts are in the South
Yeah.
Conference, even though they're North and I guess Kansas City's kind of West, but there certainly are more West teams in them.
We're
But
the
anyways, for
door to the
college,
West
yeah,
or the
exactly. That's true. We
window
have the
or
gateway to the
whatever.
West.
Gateway, something like
Like
that.
the arch, yeah, even
I guess that
Listen,
um
makes sense.
the door. That sounds not as poetic. The door to the West, Missouri. The closet door to the West. But no, the thing I'm always surprised about because I kind of got into college football a little bit this year, but it's amazing how much coaching matters and coaching because you do forget
Yeah.
when you're watching it that these are like 19-year-olds. So it's like, how is this team always good when it's literally a 19-year-old? So that's why things can always happen because it's just like, I'm trying to imagine like my 19-year-old cousin, they're not just going to like, oh, of course they're going to make the right play. And
Yeah.
it's like, they could make a mistake. They're just a 19-year-old who was in high school a year ago. And now they're like, all right, you better make this big play in the championship game. So it's amazing that they can stay consistent. It has to be because of, for one, a team that just can get the most talent, which sometimes can be unfair, and then just
Yeah.
coaching. Because even like Alabama right now, they do not feel as inevitable as they have in the past, and
Well,
that's
with
clearly
with
because
this
of the
college
coaching too.
football playoff going on, like the 12-team expansion, look at
Yeah,
the Big Ten. The Big
that's
Ten
gonna be
has 4 in the top 5.
that's a good time for this.
And I mean, Penn State's always been a team that's been up there. Oregon's been in and out, and Ohio State's always been up there. But now you got Indiana. Indiana is not
Yeah,
getting the love that they deserve. 10-0, and they're not number 2.
yeah.
That's
It's like
crazy.
there's always going to be that hesitancy.
Is
who
it?
have they played?
It's this week, isn't it, that they play Ohio State?
Yeah, that'll be the test.
So, yeah, I mean, if they beat them, they're number 2 for sure.
Yeah.
So, what's up, Tony?
I was just asking who they played.
Oh,
That's what I was thinking.
everybody that Ohio State and Oregon have played, just
Yeah, it's
not
one of those things where
Ohio
it's like
State.
it's not like an uberly impressive schedule, but it's enough to be like the fact that you're 9-0 is impressive, but not like holy crap they beat Alabama or anything. But
Yeah. I
Right,
mean,
but
they did
like,
beat Michigan, who was in there at one point, and they
yeah,
did
that's
beat
true.
careful
Nebraska,
with
who was
that.
in there at one point.
Yeah.
You guys remember Northwest a couple years back?
Yeah.
I mean, they were doing really good too, and they didn't play anybody. So I'm not saying that they haven't necessarily, but
Michigan.
Yeah.
we got to take that into consideration.
For some reason,
Yeah.
I believe it a little more, even though I'm not sure if this even makes sense, but I believe it a little more when it's a big school that just historically isn't good. You know what I mean? Like Indiana is still technically a big school. Now it's mainly basketball. So, but for some reason in my head, it's like that's more believable that they could actually be good than like, Chattanooga State being undefeated. And you're like, that might just be a lark because they're, in a bad league but we'll see. I mean, they'll have to, especially if they get like embarrassed by Ohio State. That's probably bad news for them, even though they might be their only loss of the season.
Oregon's
Right.
got Oregon's got Washington left, who's always been relatively decent.
Yeah, definitely not as good this year, but they'll be
No,
a
I
challenge.
mean they're
Oh, yeah, that's
mediocre.
who it was. Washington. It wasn't Northwest. I apologize. It was Washington, the
Well,
team.
Oh, okay. I was
Northwestern
wondering. I was like, this is a
Northwestern's
long
been
time
in there,
ago. Yeah,
but
no,
yeah,
Yeah,
Washington's
Washington's
good.
been in the top 10.
Yeah.
But they were in the playoffs a couple of years back,
Well,
and
last
they
year, yeah.
they got their asses spanked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was bad.
Or Cincinnati. That was that year. Cincinnati was undefeated. Uh,
yeah,
Yeah, true.
there's always that team where it's like we don't want to believe it. And then Florida State last year was kind of the same way. That they had injuries, but where it's just like everyone kind of agrees that like I don't feel like signs. If you worked for the team, you're like this isn't fair. We've won every game. What are we supposed to do? But in college football, it's like well, there's no real playoff, so it's sorry, we just don't believe you're actually good. It is kind of a funny system. But now that there's 12 teams, this does kind of make sense. I feel like as a casual college football fan, I've
Yeah.
always thought it was so
and I
stupid to
feel,
be like, well, we just don't trust you, so you're not going to be in. Just like, all right, well, I'm sorry.
yeah, and I feel like there's enough room for error as well.
Yeah,
So
exactly. It's just enough where it's not like everybody's in, but it's just enough where it's like, all right, Boise State, let's see if you actually can do this and not just a lark. So,
Justin Tucker, not the world's most accurate kicker anymore.
no, Eddie Pinheiro. Also had that. Where would that relate to?
Just
play?
enough, I don't know.
Oh,
He's just
took the
out or something. I don't know.
Okay, you took the Justin and went to that.
I mean, hey,
That's impressive. I thought it would transition to like a Ravens topic. That'd been really impressive. Well, speaking of Tucker, he is not hitting it today.
I mean, yeah. We could talk about Brandon Williams making it into the Ravens Hall of Fame off
Yeah,
that,
that's
but
true, actually. Yeah.
go
Yeah.
go
with him.
Brandon.
Yeah, in my class.
I know, right? Like it's weird that we had class with him.
Well, it was weird for me because I never pictured him actually making the NFL. It wasn't like, oh my God, I'm in class with Brandon Williams and he's like, it
Brandon,
was
that's
just kind of
just
like,
Clint talking, not me.
no, well, this was like before the draft. It was just kind
Yeah.
of like he was like a junior who was on the team. And so to me, it was just like, oh, he's that big guy that I guess gets a lot of sacks for our football team. Um, so in hindsight, I probably would have like, hey, can I be in your group project? That way I have your phone number and we can. But anyways, yeah, good for him and good for Missouri Southern that we have, that connection.
Yeah.
and I was the second best, guard right after him. Followed in his footsteps, and I didn't get any sacks. But
Oh, yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, good for him. And
Yeah.
really,
and he got one with the Chiefs, right? Last year? Or was that 2 years
Super
ago?
Bowl, yeah.
Yeah, the
He
Eagles
won. He won the one before.
Yeah, the Eagles won.
Yeah,
So yeah, good career.
absolutely. And next up, we continue in the NCAA for football, and we go ahead and talk now former USC recruit and current Colorado commit, 5-star quarterback Julian Lewis. Huge for Colorado to get this guy in there, but I mean, the real question is, do you think he's gonna leave again because all this hype of Coach Prime heading to Dallas, like everybody's hitting him really hard saying you're going to go to Dallas. It's destiny for you to go back to Dallas. It's Jerry Jones wants you in Dallas. Mike McCarthy is gone. Can they just get rid of him and let's get Dion? And it's like, I don't know, because Dion has got that mindset right now where he's wanting to continue up the college ranks. Like he's got this team in the right direction at the right moment. He's got them all bought in. Like he brought in great coaching staff at the end of last season. They're showing the improvement on their side of the ball. And I mean, you go get Warren Sapp out of retirement to come coach for you. I think you're staying somewhere seriously. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? Do you guys think he ditches next year and goes back to the NFL as a coach and he's downplaying it? Or do you think he actually stays?
No, well, it's a possibility always, in my opinion, if there's enough money in it. But I think he has a market in the college world right now that maybe honestly is going to make him more money. I mean, there's
Yeah.
And plus, I don't know if he would be a good head coach in the NFL. Honestly, you know
I
what I
don't
mean?
think so.
I mean, he's struggling. I mean, like I'm not saying they're not doing good, but I mean, they're kind of struggling, and he's probably being carried on. You know, he's still, I guess, kind of new to it.
Yeah.
You know, so he's in a good spot for the amount of time he's in. But I think he has plenty of growth to go.
Yeah.
He has a special place in the market right now in college. I think he probably has a lot of sponsorships and probably has a lot of money being thrown at him. But the NFL, well, and the NFL can't really throw that kind of money at coaches.
No.
Because like they're bound by
You mean
slightly
like sponsorships and stuff?
Yeah, like look at Coach Belichick now. Look what he's doing.
Right. I feel like it's a little bit faster, a little bit looser, and I think a little bit more money be made in college if you can make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my opinion on it, but it's always a possibility.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, I guess then the main reason, I've always thought this even before I knew about the sponsorship stuff, but it's definitely a pride thing. So it's going to be interesting to see. He does kind of seem like the guy who's like, and now my next step, taking the Browns and making them the Super Bowl champ, something like that. And kind of get over it in and over his head, and kind of like, come on, man, you're barely surviving with, this pretty talented Colorado team. Let's not just, but I mean, he could be good, but I'm just saying, I feel like it would be a disservice on like this would be an interesting test to see, like, because he does kind of seem like the personality that's just like, I feel like I'm the best and people are waiting for me. When in reality, he'd probably be better served for money, for, to be honest, kind of like reputation. Like, I feel like he kind of has a cooler reputation as like, hey, he's taking this smaller Colorado team and making them fun. And he's, sure, right now he has a son, and maybe that will change when it's not his son and stuff. But that's different than being, taking the Dolphins and they're 3-14.
Yeah.
and you're being pissy every presser because your pride is getting, it's like, wouldn't you rather just be in this position where it's people at least appreciate you? But
Absolutely.
whether you could do it or not, who knows? I mean,
Yeah.
he has made them a decent organization, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, another thing, one of his biggest attributes as a coach is probably his best attribute as a coach is that he has so much star power that he can recruit pretty much anybody.
Yeah.
He puts enough effort
Which
into
in
him.
college you can do.
Right, and you can't do that in the NFL.
Right.
And if he can't, smooth over, players, the best players in the league, it'd be like him, like going out for Patrick Mahomes for quarterback and going out for, Derrick Henry as your fullback. Like he's just bringing all these weapons. He can't do that in the NFL.
No.
Yeah.
Literally his star power is the biggest reason they're good because he has resources.
Yeah.
Now,
people that wouldn't go to Colorado are going now because of him. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's so like the attendance jumped out amazingly. You don't think Colorado doesn't know that. College is one of the biggest scams out there. They're gonna they're gonna end up paying them pretty good money.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do whatever they can. Have like the Red Rocks Foundation is somehow funneling money into. But yeah,
Right.
I think that's definitely his best bet. And I feel like we've seen coaches do that. I think even Urban Meyer, who's definitely not like the personality of him, but he had the same thing where it's like you could tell he wanted to draft the same way you recruit And it's like a totally, that's why he like the first pick of the draft, he got Travis Etienne, and it's like good player, but that's your college brain thinking like,
Yeah.
oh, he's a talented guy. Let's get this guy in our team. And it's like we're gonna defend the first round draft pick on this pretty good running back. So I think that's the other risk of that. Where you might as well just stick with but who knows? Or maybe his son will get drafted and he'll try to do the Bronny James thing where he hopes that his son gets drafted to a team that is needing a quarterback or, like the Titans who need a coach.
Yeah.
And then does
Yeah.
that. I can easily see him doing that. That might be the more reasonable thing. And if he can't do it, then he'll stay at Colorado.
Yeah.
But if it's
Right.
like, oh, the Titans need a new coach, and they just drafted his son, or is he going to be in the draft this year? I don't even know.
Yeah.
He will be? Okay.
Yep.
Then yeah, there you go.
And he's projected to be a number 1 pick,
Dang, which probably,
or at least first round pick
from what
anyway.
I've heard, probably means that it's not a very strong quarterback class, though, if that's the case.
Oh yeah, no.
Because he's
it's-
not like a Caleb Williams height level or anything.
He's
Yeah, Caleb
he's
Williams is so
decent.
good.
He's a running quarterback, but he's got some accuracy issues.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
talking Caleb Williams. I'm like, I'm just talking shit on Caleb Williams. Oh yeah, Caleb Williams is really good.
Hey, I still think it's still there. We've seen it. But you're right. If anything, it's like Jaden Williams. But it's not even like in that level of those kind of players. It's more like the Kenny Pickett year where it's like, I guess Kenny Pickett's the best quarterback. Let's draft him.
Yeah.
Anyways, I haven't really been following it, but
Robbed. We'll go ahead and move on to the NFL and we'll talk robberies.
there you go.
Man,
And
the
Chiefs did it
NFL.
again.
Uh-huh.
The Chiefs did it again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We
NFL
robbed
issued a
ourselves of a
security
loss.
alert. It's true, actually. Yeah.
That's true.
It's gonna be Mahomes and Kelsey.
We should have done that actually. We should have had like Twitter threads like, here's why we lost to the Bills. We was scripted. Of course we lost. They had this whole thing planned. There was a flag in the second quarter that decided Josh Allen sucks. But no, we played it normally.
Burglaries involving refs and homes and
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, that's what we should have done. Interesting that Mahomes gets burgled and now all of a sudden they lose.
Yeah.
The NFL is trying to kill the Chiefs. No, anyways.
Good. You never know. But in a memo obtained by the AP, multiple other media outlets as well, the league says homes of professional athletes across multiple sports have become increasingly targeted for burglaries by organized and skilled groups. 15 have been made known in the sports world.
Yeah, this is
The
crazy.
NFL and other professional sports leagues received a briefing from the FBI on Friday or last Friday. Source told ABC News that, and enforcement officials noted these groups targeted the homes on days the athletes have games, and players were told to take precautions and implement home security measures. You don't think they do, okay, to reduce being targeted, because we've all seen where Mahomes lives, right? He's like out in the middle of the woods and he's got giant fences like, hello, ding, ding, ding. Someone lives here and they don't want you in here because look at this fence, right? Don't really know about Travis Kelce's house, but that's Mahomes' estate. But some burglary groups have conducted extensive surveillance on targets, including attempted home deliveries, posing as grounds and maintenance or joggers in the neighborhood. Burglars have entered through side doors, balconies, and second floor windows. They've targeted homes in secluded areas, so like Mahomes there, focused on master bedrooms and closet areas. Travis Kelce was raided out of his closet. Players were warned to avoid updating any social media with check-ins or daily activities until the end of the day. Posting expensive items on social media, like the only thing I know that those two do are shoes, which, yeah, that probably get people in there to steal some stuff. But Mahomes and Kelsey were broken into within days of each of the last couple months. And yeah, so I don't know. You see stuff like this, and then you hear the incidents of, rest in peace, Sean Taylor and Rasheed Caldwell, who both got caught in their homes and were killed by intruders, and then coming in to try and steal stuff, and then they were caught. And then Ricky Pearsall was just out in public. And at the beginning of the season, dude took a bullet through the chest, went clean, but over a watch. I mean, is this something to continue to watch on? And why are we not securing these guys a little bit more?
Well, the Pearsall one was kind of unrelated, right? Or am I wrong? Like that was to me, what's weird about this story is the fact that there's like these organized groups now, like it's some
Yeah.
kind of conspiracy that's been
Well,
building. Where it's
I feel like they said it was a teen who was like
right.
in a
They,
gang.
they're like habits, like we're gonna go to Kansas City, we're gonna do this, then we're gonna go here and do this. Pearsall thing kind of seemed like more just like a street person that just happened. He probably didn't even know that was Ricky Pearsall and just did his own thing. But
Maybe.
the plan thing is kind of the plan thing is kind of scary just because it's you now the people that have a strategy that's beyond just like, oh hey, there's where Mahomes lives. What if we went in there and stole stuff?
Yeah.
Because especially in their case, I don't think posting expensive items mattered. I think people are well aware that they have money enough that they could steal something from them. I doubt they were like, oh, they have a gold watch. Okay, well now I'll go to Mahomes' house. I thought he was just a poor man.
Viewers, come take my Cadillac watch.
Hey,
See
dude,
what
don't do that.
happens.
They're gonna come. They flood everything sports related. Like, all right, first we're gonna go to Anthony Richardson's house, and we're gonna go to Wes Underwood's in Webb City.
Maybe that's why Anthony Richardson benched himself in the middle of the
Yeah,
game. He had that going on.
Yeah, you like had PTSD from a burglary.
Just stressed, guys.
But no, this is it's interesting. I mean, it might be something that dies out, but sometimes it is one of those things where it's like if it almost becomes a trend, you
Yeah.
know, where it's like, oh, what if me and my friends start a thing and we go and try to find people's houses and yeah, it's just kind of unfortunate because they probably just pick someone they know and then they know a lot about sports, I'm guessing, and then they pick that person as opposed to like, you know, and a lot of these, the reason why it might make sense for sports is that a lot of times it is these in smaller-esque towns, you know, compared to here, like in Hollywood or New York, like Kansas City, but people that have an enormous amount of money because they're sports players, right? Like
True.
Mahomes compared to other Kansas Cityans is very rich compared to other New Yorkians and Los Angeles, probably not that rich. So that's probably what happens in like, you know, Baltimore and in Indiana and Kansas City because they're thinking, I don't know who the rich corporate guy is here in Kansas City, even though there are some.
Lamar Hunt.
But I do know Mahomes and I do know Kelsey clearly, so I'm gonna go to their house. But anyways, I think it's I also thought it was funny that it was completely under wraps. I wonder why like there and even when Mahomes was asked about
I mean,
it,
they didn't want that news to leak, I guess.
yeah, just usually that breaks so quickly.
I think another thing is like if you're going to rob somebody's house, you need to know their schedule and their work schedule is literally everywhere. So you know what I mean?
That's
like
true.
And so there's away games and like, okay, I know they're going to be gone this day.
That's true. That's probably the main reason. They're like NFL players, you literally know they're like first they go to practice, then they have a pub dip, and then they go to
Yeah, that's robbing 101. Know their schedule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's actually probably a good point. They know, oh, they're going to be on an away game.
So you guys watched Home Alone too?
Which you still would think means that they have security. Like even if Mahomes was there, I doubt that would like affect their strategy. If they had guns and stuff, they're probably not like, well, we can't do it if Mahomes is there because he'll beat us up.
Yeah, but you really think Mahomes has like 8 guards just patrolling? I bet he has like a
Probably
guy.
not. Yeah,
he probably has a guy at the gate.
City.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like
there's probably a lot of electronics going on.
So
but
is
not
it a coincidence that Macaulay Culkin dressed up like Joe Burrow for Halloween? Then
what's the connection there?
They look like
that's how he got in. Is
Macaulay
that
Culkin was in Home Alone, is experienced with break-ins and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So he dressed up like Joe Burrow and thought he was just coming over to chill.
He has experience.
Hey,
he has experience counteracting break-ins. So it's more like he needs to be there to like protect Joe Burrow's house, and like have paint cans ready to throw down at the guys that are trying.
He's getting hired as head of security.
Yeah, that's true. But he dresses up as them. It only works for Joe Burrow because that's the only guy he looks like. And then he's got the Hot Wheels ready and the pizza delivery guy ready, and he's
That should be a Saturday Night Live skit.
That would be a parody. The NFL burglary edition. Kevin McAllister's
Something's gonna
back.
happen out of it. You know it is.
Yeah. Hopefully it dies down. But that was
You're welcome.
it was interesting that it was so with how fast TMZ usually is with these things. It was funny that it was because it happened like during the Saints Monday night game.
Yeah.
I assumed it was like this weekend. It was like, oh yeah, 4 weeks ago they got burgled, and we're just now for some reason telling you. And then when Mahomes was asked at the presser, it was like he was like sweating. He's like, it's I can't, that's under I can't tell you anything, but just it's unfortunate. It's like what's going on here? Is it like mafia or why is he? You can't just say some guys try to steal from stuff from me. Anyways,
Yeah. True.
unless they stole like something from like an adult toy store or something, and you didn't want to bring that up that it was involved with let's just say things were stolen. I'll leave it at that.
Funny you mentioned that, and an ad for Joe Biden just came across the store with a smile.
Okay.
It's
Oh gosh. It's
ironic.
it's past my bedtime. But anyway, we'll go ahead and move into the NBA and we'll talk Boston Celtics and ownership there. And well, the current owner, whose family is in the middle of selling its controlling stake in the franchise, said Thursday that not only do they plan to run the team in the next 3 years, but they believe that they could repeat as champions this season. And I mean, it's underway. This is them being quoted. There's a lot of interest in the team, and the sale of the conference call is with reporters after a ceremony with President Joe Biden in the White House on the White House's South Lawn to celebrate the team's win. And I mean, I guess we would like to limit that, but I would say the plan is that we still stay in charge for 3 more years, and that's what's laid out, and we'll go on from there. But having said that, I'd just rather talk about this team that we have in front of us with us right now, and that has a capacity to contend again. And I think we're contenders this year, and we can be contenders in the future. It's what I'm most excited about. And I mean, glad to see that he's wanting to keep the winning way there. But I mean, really, I don't even know why this was written and said. But on that note, with all that being said, question is, do you think that with the selling of the team, do you think that's going to distract the team? And if not, or if so, reason why? And then do they make it back to the finals this year? I mean, they do have a pretty decent team.
Yeah, I hope it does. As a Celtics not liker, I'll say that. And I'm not a hater, but a Celtics not liker. I hope it distracts them, but probably not. I feel like these we'd be surprised how like close knit the players just play and do their thing. Now, if it was coach related, that's different. But
Yeah.
I feel like they're kind of just like, oh, there's something going on with ownership. Anyways, that doesn't
12
affect
and 3, right?
our defense. Yeah, yeah.
That'd be
Still
that'd be
good.
like the football team being upset if they got a new principal. You know what I mean? In high school, like
yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's
Like, all right.
or a new athletic director, but it's like I guess athletic director would be equivalent, but even then, it's like our coach has defined who we are, not the athletic director who's buying our jock straps and stuff.
We
So
are who they
it
thought
might
they
affect
were.
things
We
down
bought
the
'em off them.
line, but this season they're too good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope it does. I hope it's like Jason Tatum is tearing up about I love the last owner, and then he misses a game-winning three. I would love that, but
What are your
I
thoughts
doubt it
on
will.
Cleveland right now?
Love them. I didn't believe it for a while. But yeah, I think they're going to be great. I think it's
16 and
a
1.
weird season right now. What?
It
is
is.
LeBron going to go back?
Do what?
What'd you say?
Is LeBron going to go back?
Yeah, he's going to
No.
Yeah, he would if it wasn't like the Lakers are great right now too, which makes it fun. I always think it's good when the Lakers are good, and especially with LeBron. But the Bronny thing
10
is
and 4.
is the funnier thing is the fact that he's
LeBron did James.
the fact that
Man.
Bronny's not that great of a player and he's just on this team because
He's
it's a good
He's also taking
PR.
a break from social media because he doesn't want his house to get broken into either.
That's probably that's just probably relevant actually.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's a weird season. All the good teams are kind of like the Celtics are good, but
Is
none of
Golden State back?
Yeah, it's like Golden State could be good, but who knows if they're, how long that can last. There's not a lot of like, it's like, and then the Celtics are not even the top seed right now, technically, even though they beat the Cavs. But so
Yeah.
it's kind of an interesting season. It leaves room for teams like the teams I like, the Mavericks and the Bucks.
Oh, did they come back and
To
beat the Cavs?
Yeah, they gave them their first loss in the. I don't know if you
Oh.
follow,
I
but
knew
there's
that
the
Boston beat them that first game, or Cavaliers beat Boston in the first matchup.
yeah, no, they gave them their first loss in the what's called NBA Cup, which is the in-season tournament, which is I love. Um,
Huh.
and I'm going to a Bucks game here soon in Milwaukee. But yeah, that's it. They got their first loss, but it's a weird season. It's hard to. I always NBA. It's my favorite sport, basketball, but every game is hard because it's like there's so much variance. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess baseball is the worst with this, but it's so hard. My brain wants to like be in football mode where it's like this game matters so much. The Chiefs need to beat this team. Oh, we didn't beat the Bills. Gosh darn it. And in basketball, you're just going to drive yourself crazy doing that for 82 games of come on, no, we lost. And it's in October and it's like they're not going to be in the playoffs until May when we're going to the beach. But yet I'm worried about this Hornets game in October. So it's a weird sport like that where it's like I'm kind of you hate to be the guy that just pushes it, but it's like I'm kind of just waiting until at least February, and then I'll really be thinking about these teams. But I
Yeah.
think there's definitely not like an overall powerhouse besides what the Celtics could be,
Sure.
which barely skirts around the owner question, I guess. But the
Guess
quick
my
answer to
last
that
one,
was
Spurs. You think the Spurs are real?
I think Wemby's real.
Yeah.
I just think it's
Not even Paul.
nah.
No.
I think they might be like they give they're the 8 seed and they give the 1 seed like a couple losses and you're like, oh, that was a feisty round, but they still lose.
Yeah.
That's probably the Wemby's amazing. Like Wemby will have like a game where he scores 50 and they beat the Warriors in like, game one. And it's like, whoa, the Spurs, and then the Warriors beat them in the
I'm
series or something.
I'm really sorry, but Wembanyama reminds me of Gumby.
Oh, I can see that.
Just
He's too
always up
long.
tall
Yeah,
like
he's
this
too
and just
long. It's not
yeah.
even like daunting. It's just too gangly. It's like when you see pictures of him near normal people, it's like actually an alien. It's like how does a bone limb extend that long while
Exactly.
the torso is normal size?
Like you feel
Um,
like he's gonna break, but he is strong.
no, yeah, he's not nimble, which means he could last longer. But I would still be fearful if I was a Spurs fan of like there's a lot of precedent of these 7'3", not huge guys not lasting very long. Just
Yeah,
because
he's
I think
definitely got to wear those orthopedic shoes for sure.
yeah, it's so easy to twist an ankle. Like when you're looking way down, like looking down a mountain just to see your feet, it's like it's so easy to twist things up there and you get a little ankle affects your whole body. And
I'd rather look down the mountain than over the mountain.
amen. Amen. And that's that's
We're
the
just going
Spurs
all over tonight.
in a nutshell. Yeah, how does that relate to Justin Tucker? Let's bring it back. So.
Well, Tony playing nose tackle, that's where we go back to.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He blocked that kick. No. Um, but next up we'll go ahead and touch on another just odd subject. I mean, this week's going to be fun subjects. Tyson Paul fight. Thoughts now that it's
Oh
all
boy.
over. I'm still waiting for it to finish because it's continuing to buffer. And the last thing I saw was the butt on air with the chaps and a kiss to his son. So, but in all seriousness, thoughts.
Well, I'd say the fight was ass. It was really bad.
Yeah.
That was probably the most entertaining part of the night was seeing Mike Tyson's butt. Because other than that, man, the fight was terrible. I think it was staged. Like I felt like he was pulling his punches.
Oh yeah.
And Mike Tyson's not a very good actor. So
Oh, that's where we're
You
going
didn't
with
like
this.
him in The Hangover?
no, he was terrible.
There you go. There you go.
No, I just don't. No, I mean, I think he went out there because, he literally said it. He needed the money.
Yeah.
So and they probably told him to, hey, let's take it a little easy.
Sure.
And so that's where I'm going with it. And then on top of that, they're going to have the Thanksgiving game or the Christmas game on Netflix.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Christmas.
yeah. I mean, that's gonna be terrible. I mean,
Touchdown.
I will
It's
say, I'm
intercepted and
not sure why this would make a difference, but I'm not sure if it changed because I was in LA or not. But for me, there was no. I went to like a sports bar and there was no gimmicks. I mean, not no gimmicks, no glitches or anything.
I
Maybe
bet
that's
mm,
it
just on
was a
my end.
Midwest thing.
Maybe it was. I was watching. I saw the tweets and I was like, huh, maybe that happened earlier or just. But the fight itself, I didn't see any glitches or anything. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was definitely. I'm not going to go. You guys love going the staged route with everything, but I do think it was.
Well,
If
actually,
anything,
did
the
that
reason
actually really start at 7 p.m. your time, or because then
it was
everything
definitely
would have been
earlier.
caught up?
That was what I was thinking. It was. I was like, man, East Coast. This started at midnight. Like that's stupid because it was like 8 o'clock our time
Yeah.
or like 8:30 ish our time when it started. But I was like, who wants to like? That was a stupid gameplay. Anyways,
Sure.
no, it just seemed like for one, I just don't think everything's staged. But also, it's like you could just tell he looked very old. All right, where everybody in our bar was just like,
Hey,
it wasn't fun because it was just like sad. It's just
dude
like,
just got
this
out
is
of the
like elder
hospital
abuse.
too, like
It
two
was
months
like
ago, and had
the
those
way he
blood
moved his
transfusions.
ankles was just like
Yeah.
barely. It was just like, oh, this is your father, your older father, not even like a normal like Gen Z father, like your older father going to battle with like a kid who boxes but is in full athletic, can pay money to make himself athletic and stuff. So he knows how to, he has the right coaching and is athletic and does things. And of course, he's going to beat a 59-year-old. And
You know who we should have brought on? Is, Brian Jones went to that fight.
yeah,
who's
We
that?
he
should
did.
have had him come on, talk about it, and see what he saw live.
Right. Well, the reason I say it's staged is because you see, like, the body language and demeanor were 100% different from like the night before, whenever he slapped the shit out of Jake Paul. It was. I mean, the demeanor was just different. The way he was walking, and then like versus the way he came out. Like, I don't know. He was Mike Tyson one night. He was Joe Biden the next.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an
True.
old man. I mean, it's easy to be like, talking in a microphone aggressively, and then it's different to like in your boxing stance, winning against a guy who's way more athletic than you. And
Sure.
now, granted, I mean, it's like I think the stage and scripted thing is just used way too much. Now, if there was one possibility, it would be a Jake Paul related one-on-one fight. If anything could be scripted, I guess it would be that, where it's just like, hey, we'll give you $90 billion. Will you fake this? Okay, I guess that is possible. As opposed to people that think like, punters and every single player and networking and assistant and the NFL is somehow scripting.
But
They've all agreed to not let a script loose for something. But it's just
what do
like
you think
a
of the
couple of guys.
headbutting fight? You feel that that was too aggressive, or do you think that was legal?
Did they headbutt?
Oh yeah,
The fight before.
yeah.
Oh,
The
oh, I thought
both
you meant Jake
girls,
Paul.
women.
Yeah.
Is
I
that
I
mean,
legal?
thought it was a good fight.
That's not legal
no,
in boxing, is it?
no. They should have. They should have gave her a warning like really quickly and taken a point away. Like they should have
Yeah,
put a stop to it.
Did she
Uh,
win?
no, she got yeah. The girl that was headbutting won, but she got her ass whooped. Like the other girl
yeah.
should have won.
I do
Ah,
agree with that too.
I heard that was a good fight though.
It
But it's
was a
not
good
state.
fight.
Like way
Probably
better
the
than
most
the.
entertaining one. That first one with the humping really had me like, okay, what's going on?
Oh yeah, yeah. He was.
I just felt gypped because I turned it on at 5 o'clock my time, thinking that it was like, all right, here we go. And then it was
Oh
like,
yeah,
and my friend was like, I was like, dude, we can't go to that bar and watch it. It already started. It starts at 5. He's like, yeah, no, they're not playing. He's not going to fight for another 3 hours.
yeah.
And then we were waiting there, and it's just like the saddest fight. People waiting for it to be exciting.
Li-
Like, here we
Literally
go.
taking the whole 4 hours that they had allotted
Oh
for
yeah,
it.
just
That
for
was
the
ridiculous.
money and everything. Yeah, that's why I'm saying if anything was ever scripted, which most of the time it's not, it could be a Jake Paul related. Literally just I don't know. It's not like this is part of any league or anything. This is just a let's fight and we'll pay Netflix or Netflix will pay us to have it.
Well,
Um,
the refs didn't follow the script last week in the NFL, man. I'm mad.
Also, our reps are they that small in boxing? That's a small. Just kind of. I guess it doesn't matter, but it's just kind of. It was funny watching that. It's like, I guess this guy's a boxing aficionado. Is this little guy that has to break up the box? When they're. Anyways, I'm just not really a boxing fan, but um, Yeah, I mean, they did what they had to do. I'm also not going to go as far though as like there's some people it's like this is what proves that Jake Paul is a marketing master, and it's like I think he's just happened to get famous enough and then went into boxing, and then people wanted to see him get beat up.
Yeah.
As unfortunate as that is, people were like, let's hope that he gets his head knocked off, me included.
He wants
But it was
Canelo.
kind
I want that fight, and I want Canelo to beat him.
right. And that would get even more money. But I'm not sure that's because it's like, wow, what a genius strategy he used. I think it's just, yeah, people want to see you get beat up, and then you
You,
have this
Tony, you
setting where
think
someone,
watching Canelo, you think if he gets that fight offer and he takes it, do you think Canelo actually goes in and actually like just knocks him down?
I don't know, man. I mean, everybody's human. Uh, I like to think that he just go out there and whoop his ass, but I'm not sure.
is he a
Uh,
current
Not after
fighter?
what we saw. Yeah.
he's one of the best in the world.
Sure.
You know, on paper,
That would be amazing if he did that just for the people that had to waste their time with that fight. Just like, please just have one where he's just the first round knockout and just end
Yeah.
it. And we can be done with this Jake Paul shenanigans once and for all.
yeah. I mean,
But it stinks because in boxing, you know, Jake Paul because of the money he spent is at least trained enough to know, how to defend. Like it's not as easy as just like beating somebody up on the street. It's like there is a strategy to getting your hits in, and he could just do the Floyd Mayweather thing where he just kind of plays defense for 2 rounds and makes it look kind of cool. Like, hey, he lasted 4 rounds against Canelo. Anyways,
yeah, he's not that good though. He's not active enough when he fights. He throws like one punch or two punch at a time. He rarely like actually like has anything longer than a two punch combo. Like overall, he's not very good. I'm just saying like a like a decent boxer, like even a journeyman should understand that they need to have actual combos whenever just one or two
right.
punches for the 90% of the fight isn't going to win you any fight.
Yeah.
I just and whenever he fought an actual boxer, which was Tommy Fury, just like last year or so. I mean, he
Yeah.
got it taken. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, next up, we'll head into Talk Soccer, and that's brought to you by the Corner Kick in Neosho. Be sure to stop by the Corner Kick located at 1411 Blue Oak Lane, Suite C, Neosho, Missouri. They have the largest soccer store in southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas, southeastern Kansas, and northeastern Oklahoma. Be sure to check them out Tuesday through Sunday for your football or futsal needs. Yep, indoor soccer is happening, and go get your futsal gear and hit up Sam for that. And well, last week the Kansas City Current season came to an end, unfortunately, losing 3-2 to the Orlando Pride. I
Uh,
mean, everything that I talked about ended up happening last week. You got to go in and stop Barbara Banda, and you got to keep Marta from getting a score, because once those two get involved and once they get going, the game's over. You're done. Once you get a goal out of one of them, they pretty much control the game the rest of the time. And unfortunately, the Pride ended up going up 1-0. Then they ended up 2-0, and then Kansas City came back and came close, and then in the 90 whatever minute, I think 96th, they ended up scoring Vanessa DiBernardo, and then a few minutes left to go and over or stoppage time, and yeah, it just didn't pan out. And I mean, it was going to be an awesome story, and the Cinderella story at that, coming from bottom to the top, and all the records broken and everything that happened this year. Timwa Chawinga, Golden Boot leader. She better win MVP, in my opinion. I don't care what anybody says about Marta and what anybody says about Banda. Banda got straight up beat. Yeah, they beat her in the playoffs, but I think it needs to go off regular season play. I mean, Barbara Banda's an athlete. She's good at what she does, but Tim Wachawinga proved that she could do it week in and week out. Banda stalled for a little bit during the season and had some games where she couldn't get it done. And that's ultimately where Tim Waugh ended up getting her record breaker. So there's a lot to be said. I know I voted. I got my votes in. We'll see where it all ends up. But I mean, kudos on the season, sport or current and sporting. not kudos to you. I'm kind of upset at the off season right now as well. Lots of stuff mentioned last week, and we'll more divulge that as soon as we get Sam back on here because I know he's got plenty to say too. But anyone else have any thoughts on that before we head on?
So do you see Orlando? They have a good chance to win the whole thing.
Man, the Spirit are really good. Trinity Rodman and her team are phenomenal.
Oh, really?
I think it's going to be a good matchup. And for Orlando to have to travel to Kansas City um, for this, and then
Oh,
Washington, both teams
yeah.
coming in from the coast, it's a toss up for me. It really is, especially
Okay.
with the weather being colder. They're both well, Washington hasn't been in a warm climate, but Pride, that was good home field advantage at this point in the season. You're in the cold, and now you got to go play the championship in Kansas City where it's going to be what, 30 degrees somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Marta and Banda are two to watch, and then you got Rodman and her team. So, it could go either way, in my opinion.
Are they going to have like um championships and Kansas City going forward because it's a singular
So they had the
soccer
Big
field?
12. They had the Big 12 matchups for women's, and then they've got a couple cup games coming there. They're trying to intentionally get more stuff there.
Yeah, because it's singularly. I feel like they would want to celebrate that this is a singular soccer women's soccer field, and
Yeah.
so that's why we're gonna have our championship there. What do you mean Big 12? What are you talking about?
They had like the women's soccer
Oh,
championships
soccer,
there.
well, college soccer. I got you. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it went
cool.
over the span of a week. When I went up for the semifinal or the quarterfinal game, they had just finished out and they had all those players in attendance and they were up there watching the game.
Beautiful.
So
Well,
it was
I'll
pretty
cheer him on
cool.
next year. I got my jersey with Danisco on the back, and
I got my whiteout jersey. It got delayed and I still haven't gotten it yet.
I suppose
Supposed
that's
to be 2 day shipping and it's like 3 weeks behind.
a tough Sunday for Mahomes with the
Yeah,
loss to the Bills and then his part ownership soccer team losing to the. But
yeah.
anyways,
And then his one of his players losing out in the MVP race in the MLB. I don't even want to get started on that. How
Bobby
stinking
Witt.
Aaron Judge got the win on that one. I don't know because Bobby Witt
Uh,
Jr. had a way
it's
better
the
season.
Yankees. It's the Yankees. They're gonna. Also, that's how late they are with the voting on that.
I don't even know if it's
A month
official,
after
but
the
I think
World
that's what they
Series over, I
said.
was like,
Yeah, it's
uh,
crazy. Next up in the NWSL, we talk Caitlin Clark, and yet again, she is doing something big as she's part of the ownership group trying to bring the NWSL expansion team to Cincinnati. And Cincinnati is one of a handful of finalists bidding for an NWSL expansion team that is expected to be awarded before the end of the year. The team will begin to play in 2026, joining the previously announced expansion team in Boston. So bring the NWSL teams to 16. So kudos there. Lots of stuff going on. The ownership group of the MLS FC Cincinnati is leading in the bid. Also in contention are groups from Cleveland, Denver, Nashville, Philadelphia, Cincinnati is considered one of the favorites in the process due to its ownership, backing, and existing infrastructure. So that's pretty cool. With the stadium already purpose built for soccer, Cleveland, Denver, and Philadelphia all hope to build stadiums and play in temporary venues upon launching in 2026 if their bid is accepted. So, I mean, that's going to be good for the league, and I'm excited to see the expansion. Soccer is really hitting here in America right now, and this is a good time for it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's been fun to watch the growth of the sport just since we've been covering it. Tony, when we took this adventure, I mean, we were pretty out of it, not knowing about all this stuff. But with the expansions happening and then Kansas City gets the stadium, I'd like to think it's our luck that we're just getting all this and that it's happening like this. But no, I'm just kidding there. They kind of knew what was going on before that. And
Ever
it's
since we
been,
came in, they have tripled their numbers.
I
You're
mean,
welcome.
what, that first season they went to a championship and then this season they go to another one almost. I mean, that's crazy.
That was us.
yes.
But No, I mean it's been great, and I've enjoyed covering them and continue. I can't wait to continue this partnership with the Current. I love the organization and everything that they've done in
Right.
sporting. I'm hoping next year's a little bit more adventurous. I'm planning on going up to most of the games that I can, and being able to get in there. So I'm excited for that, and yeah, just
They
going and
need you
seeing
there.
all
That's
this
why.
stuff and seeing how the sport's growing.
Yeah.
Uh, Also, in fun news and local news, the Comets for here in Joplin held their tryouts this past week. I was talking to Sam, one of the guys there in charge of everything going on. 75 plus guys came out to try for the team. They got it down to their roster, and yeah, they're getting ready to get things going, get training. I'm assuming that they're going to be doing indoor stuff for a while. I know that they've got access to Joplin High School for some stuff. They're working on getting some other things going, but it's going to be fun to watch. I'm excited for that. And then once that happens, man, being able to cover them too, that's going to be fun. Tony, if they ask, you and I might be commentating a game if you're up for it.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Wait,
That'd
is that
be really fun.
the UPSL soccer team to Joplin, Missouri? Wow, I did not know about this.
Yeah, it's awesome. Semi pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big stuff. Big stuff. We're excited to have Sam on here as a sponsor and then being able to cover his team whenever they get going. Being able to do that right now, actually, with just reposting everything that they've got. I'm excited for it, ready to get that going. Can't wait to see the fans come out. There's quite a few soccer fans in the area. I guarantee they're gonna get a lot of kids, and I'm excited for what that's gonna look like for this community to be able to have those players possibly in the future host camps for these kids and stuff like that going on. It's going to be awesome to see, and can't
Yeah.
wait.
Who's the
Yeah.
diamond in the rough at Duquesne Elementary who comes through and has the storybook story of getting onto the Comets team and then getting to the MLS.
Yeah, never know.
Yeah.
On that, we'll go ahead and head into the local sports update brought to you by Trackside Burgers. They're open at 1515 West 10th Street. Go get some this weekend. Barbecue today or tomorrow. You won't regret it. Check them out. And on that note, Moso men's basketball in action tonight at Rockhurst University. Tip-off in Kansas City is set for 7 p.m. And for the women, they are set to play tomorrow here at Liggett and Platt, 1:30 p.m. 500 ball going on right now for Missouri Southern women. They're getting things heated up. We all know they like to go on those late season runs, and yeah, looking forward to it. A lot of solid play. We have McKenna Yoakley on here. Um, just seeing her as a freshman go in and doing what she's doing under the basket and being able to put up points outside and inside the perimeter. It's been fun to watch, and really excited for her in these next few years here in Missouri Southern and watch her grow. Um, Kind of a Lacey Stokes caliber, but for the big girl underneath, like Jensen would approve because she was that one that was always underneath, just dominating, getting the rebounds and all that. I mean, they like to call them the dirty players because, I mean, they have to get those rebounds. They got to get the ugly stuff done to be able to make the team look good. And she's been able to do that so far. Some of the games she's struggled a little bit, but I mean, overall, in the couple matches that I've seen, she's done well. But so this rookie class that they have, though, Grace Frazier, can't speak enough on her. And then Jackie Hall out of Pittsburgh. Like, it's just going to be fun to watch over the next 4 years for sure. But yeah, we got a 2 minute warning on that note, brought to you by Ghetto Tacos. On Fridays, get 10% off burritos all day, and they do close at 8, so make sure to get over there before the game. They will not be open after. They're located at 536 North East Street, Webb City, Missouri. Drive-through available 417-1261. Yep. Excuse me. It's 417-717-1261. Skip the middle there. My bad. But yeah, make sure you stop by and get some food. Sada fries, so good. California burrito, if you haven't had it, is good too. But on that note, high school football picks are here. It's district championship weekend last weekend, and Webb did well. Like, they responded very well going down 14. They return home tonight, and yeah, tune in to our pregame show tomorrow as we break down the matchup from just outside of Cardinal Stadium. We're not going to give our picks until we get on there. I mean, kind of know who Tony's going to go for regardless. I mean, gotta at this point, but anyway, moving on. We got Seneca left, team on a mission. They'll take on Mount Vernon. Who you got? Clint? You got Mount Vernon, don't
You
you?
know who I got home Mountaineer right here. So of course I'm going for who are they playing?
Seneca.
I'm going for Seneca. No,
Like,
I'll go for
they've
the
been
Mountaineer.
your guys' rival for a while, haven't they?
Not really. We're,
No?
we're Aurora, if you're aware of that
I
town,
forget about
and
Aurora.
and Monette, if you're aware of that town.
Monet,
Monet, that's right.
the purple team.
I'm going with Seneca on this one.
Yeah, I think Seneca's got it in the bag. I mean, Mount
Got it in the
Vernon does
bag.
have only 3 losses, but Seneca's just on a tear right now. They're a different level.
Okay.
We'll see. When you come back to Joplin, if your team wins, Clint, I'll buy you a turkey. If my team wins, you buy me a turkey.
Oh, great. Butterball.
Honeysuckle.
Do you guys do the fryer thing? Have you guys tried that yet? The deep
No,
fry?
but I would love to do an episode where we're frying and talking.
That'd be great, actually. I mean,
My
it'd be
brother-in-law
scary.
does it in the fryer.
Yeah.
What?
My brother-in-law, he does it in the fryer. He did that
Really?
last. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
That's too risky for me. I love what comes out of it if you do it right.
I know. I love watching
my-
the TikTok vids of it. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if I would actually love like going in the backyard and doing it, but if I had the right people around me, I would do it.
Got to get a turducken. It's a turkey stuffed with a chicken and a duck.
There you go. Yeah, your impressions are on one today.
Man, I miss John Madden just because
know.
it's during Thanksgiving and he always did it. Pat Summerall, miss that guy too. He was good to watch.
Big much.
but-
I'm gonna be in Wisconsin, and I theoretically could go to the Packers Dolphins Thanksgiving night game. Should I do it, or do you think?
I'd do it.
I've never been to Lambeau Field.
Better bring us
experience.
back some Wisconsin cheddar.
I don't think you got the balls to go.
And that's the thing. It's like, do I want to go in 32-degree weather with the two teams I don't really care about? I'm just doing it for
Would you have gone to the game in Kansas City where it was negative 13, 20, 40, 40, negative 40?
No. I gotta be
No?
honest, no. I mean, if I was given a free ticket and I lived in Kansas City, maybe.
I went. I'm
You're
alive.
there?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Hey, that's a story now. You know what? I think before the game started, I didn't know it was going to be like historically cold. Otherwise, I would have gone to be like, I went to a historically cold game. Whereas like this Packers game is just going to be a typically cold game.
I still don't think that's the coldest it was, but I think that's the coldest it was without snow. Because we had a game a few years back during the AFC
That was what was eerie
Championship.
about it. It was
Huh?
just still. That was what was eerie about watching that game. It was just still.
Yeah.
You could tell it was freezing cold. Like it wasn't like a blowing, snowing wind. It was just stillness.
Breath and then helmets
Yeah, breath
chipping.
and-
Yeah.
Like it was so cold, life was stopping because they couldn't do anything.
Man,
Uh,
everybody's beers were frozen. They were getting upset.
Heck yeah. Yeah, see,
I'm
I don't
just
want
sitting
that
there. I'm like, why do you guys keep going back to buy more knowing it's going to do that?
coming back. Darn it. Look at
Good.
this bit.
Huh?
You gotta drink it faster.
Yeah, they got like, by the time they sit down, it's gone. It's like, oh, that was fun. And the walk down here, I drank my beer.
I can't imagine the stadium employees after the game. We could resell all this tomorrow.
Oh yeah, beer slushies. But I'm probably gonna end up, the other part of it is my sister is not really a humongous NFL fan, so it's like I could see us having our lunch and then being like, do we really want to drive to Green Bay because we're in Milwaukee? Drive to Green Bay, get our tickets, sit in the cold.
You like his
but-
Guardian helmet he put on his microphone there, Tony?
I know. This is actually called in the biz. In the biz, this is called a personal studio.
Dude, that looks like the thing from what is that show?
It looks like from 2001. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Anyways, Yeah, it's like it captures your sound, but it's all in a little microphone. But it looks like just a humongous like windscreen. Like I'm really protecting from the wind, but it's supposed to make nice voiceover when I do voiceover work. But anyways,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I wish I had one on mine, but it's
you can just do this.
later.
Put your hands like that. Ladies and gentlemen, Saturday Night Live. Anyways, actually, I can do the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Sports Timeout.
Music is here, and so is the end of another episode.
Sports
for,
Timeout.
Tony, Clint, myself. Guys doing anything fun?
Baby, don't hurt me.
Yeah, no. All right. We'll see you next week on
Don't
Sports
hurt
Timeout.
me no more. Sports Timeout. There we go.